Welcome back, A1A fam, to another adventure of A1A Adventures, another episode, I mean. So, a lot of you really loved these new fish we got. The Boba tea fish, the pea pod squad, all the above. We gave them several nicknames. Everybody's asking in the comments, what type of fish are they? What type of species are they? What kind of fish are they? And honestly, just had fun with it. They look just like Boba tea balls, so why not call them Boba fish, right? But let's get serious now, because a lot of you are asking what type of fish are they? Puffer fish, box fish, trunk fish, cowfish, because they all look extremely similar in resemblance as babies like this. So let's get to it. Dun, 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 dun. This is the tank. Now, it has gone through several changes since the first video we put out, as well as there is a big update as a follow-up episode right now. And a major update with good and bad news, I must say. Now, the good news is we still have fish. Bad news is we only have one. But just one? Yes, and for good and bad reasons. Okay, nothing died. Nothing died. But we had 8 of them in the beginning, and I think I just got way too excited, and of course with my knowledge and lack of the person's knowledge who sold them to me, they don't do extremely well in big numbers or in smaller tanks. This is a 10-gallon tank. This is so tiny, you have no idea. However, with... Oh, okay, let's get to it. Yes, they are boxfish, baby boxfish. So with baby boxfish, they can become territorial. It seemed like they were getting along. In the other videos, they definitely were. They were just frolicking and swimming in little packs and such, but now when it came down to it, to the nitty gritty, no. They were kind of hunting together until there was never a moment that there wasn't food present. They were getting along. Then literally an hour or two goes by and there's no food, which couldn't possibly be offered every half an hour throughout the day. They were picking on each other. They would find the weaker one and they would prey on it. So, of course, observing this after 36 hours, I'm like, yeah, we went way too heavy over our heads and bit off more than we can chew. So we did the right thing and brought them back. And I said, let's just start out with one. So we're going to start out with one and then we can go from there and take it, one day at a time. I say that's more responsible rather than just getting excited. And let's have a whole pea pod squad of a flock of fish. That sounded nice and it sounded interesting and inviting, but I don't think it was the right thing to do, as I'd rather experience having this fish in a simpler, more reasonable and sustainable quantity as one rather than some. And I've learned that from my experience of getting too excited in the past over several animals and different species and going too crazy prior to having experience, which fish we have plenty experience of. Don't know? Well, look at all of our other videos. And we have a lot of DIYs, how-tos, instructionals, educational stuff, and entertaining stuff. So when it comes to fish, yes, very experienced, and saltwater both and freshwater. But when it comes down to a quantity of a newly acquired species, you definitely want to tread carefully within reason and responsibility, and that is pretty much where we are at currently. We are down to one, and currently accepting applications for the name for this little one here. Boba, rabbit poo. You guys spread all the crazy comments, and on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, everywhere, all the social media platforms on this little guy. So, it pretty much just chills. It's just chilling right now. And of course, as we feed it, which in our other videos you saw it feed, and as well as all the other ones we had, definitely check it out. You don't want to miss that it just kind of hangs out. It kind of drifts at the top and, and that's it. Eats perfectly fine and swims perfectly fine. So unfortunately, in a quantity of one, until this little guy gets bigger, or she, that we don't really, I don't know, to be honest with you, it's more of on the boring, very chill side of a fish, but it is still one of the most cutest things we've ever had here on this channel. If you look at this 10-gallon tank with this coral light and, awesome little flow system we got going there, 2 tank heaters, and this light runs about 16 hours a day. No, honestly, 20 hours out of 24 hours I have it running, even with the night. So it always gets the good light. The tank is pretty much at the end of its cycling period. It was fairly of a new tank. We had the other tank running for just over a year, so we used all the sand and everything else from the inside as well as the filter media to keep all the bacterial levels, pretty much up to standard par, what it was used to. And it was just like going through good fresh new water change for this little one here. So it worked out really well. All the other fish, you know, liked it too, except I just kept the bigger and healthier one so it can prosper and hopefully treat us really well. And you guys can witness all of it as well. However, we are still in the moment of where it is extremely hard to focus on these little guys because, or this little guy or little gal, because it is just that tiny. So if we could maybe kind of sort of get a little bit of a vision right here, we could see it a little better. I mean, when I say this thing is equivalent to the size of a pinky nail, maybe even smaller. Maybe even smaller. Isn't that correct? Swimming away. Swimming away. So cute. So cute. And they do love bloodworms. They do love the chopped up mice shrimp that I have. It likes lobster, clams, mussels, scallops, that kind of thing. So definitely the variety of diet for this little boba fish. This little box fish, once again, in case you guys are, you know, wondering, you know, what it is. And it's very, very, very calm. It's a very just gliding, drift in the breeze kind of fish, which nothing is wrong with that. But once again, we are used to some more active and predatorial fish on this channel, or just entertaining, fast-moving fish, you know, that give us a show and a run for our money. But this one, just kind of drifting through the breeze like the rest of the world has through 2020, which, hey, no hate on that. I think we're all on the same boat here. But that's honestly, in a nutshell, just the most current, recent update on these little fish. As I'm sure everybody who invested their watch time and, you know, and subscribed to this channel, I thank you so much. For anybody who's new here, my name is Adam, and this is A1A Adventures, and this is just what we do. A bunch of little fish and animal content, and that's it. If you guys are into the aquatic hobby, you're in great company. If you're into the pet trade hobby, you're in awesome company as well. So, you know, you can learn a lot here, you have fun here, and, you know, come along for the ride. In what we have, you guys can witness it. You guys can basically learn off of our trials and tribulations and experiences. If you guys decide you want to do the same thing in your home or your aquariums and such too, I mean, there's a bunch of great stuff that comes from this channel, and I appreciate you as well as this little baby boba fish, and want to thank you personally for subscribing and watching our videos, because the last several boba tea fish videos and the cutest fish in the entire world, what these fish are, took off. It was excellent. You guys gave it great support. I know you love it, so I wanted to make them last and do the right thing. So we kept this one. Once again, drop a comment below and what you want to name this little baby box fish that looks like a boba tea ball, and let's go ahead and name it. Let's go. Fill those comments up with some awesome names, and until the next adventure, stay adventurous, and we thank you personally here at A1A Adventures, and so does this little fish, even though it can barely speak. It speaks to me sometimes, and I talk to it every day. However, we just have a little trouble exchanging thoughts, but I think we're all on the same page, right? So until next time, as always, stay adventurous. A1A Adventures.